Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not Another Watch Channel. Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos that are coming out. Today we're going to dive into the Invicta Pro Diver. So this is the reference number 89280B, the Pro Diver. This is the two-tone version with the stainless steel and the what they're calling 23 karat gold plated. The inner links and the face is this beautiful color blue. In the light, if you catch it right, I think it's one of the most stunning parts about this watch because, you know, it's a cheap watch and a lot of people hate this watch and they hate this brand. But the face on this watch in the color blue is truly stunning in certain lights. I originally purchased this watch when I was getting into mechanical watches still. This was right after I bought my SKX, and I was just looking for something to mix it up a little bit. So I purchased this. I bought it in January of 2016, so it's going on right around 4 years old right now, and it still works perfectly. It keeps great time. Nothing on this watch is broken, nothing has stopped working, nothing has given me any difficulties, and I know a lot of people complain about how cheap they are and that they're ripoffs, but this watch has proven to me over and over again that it is built with at least enough quality to last if you don't beat the ever-loving heck out of it. This watch has a fairly standard 40mm case, a 20mm lug width, and just around a 13.5mm case width, but on the side of this case it has a very disgusting Invicta logo. So that is one of the things that I truly hate the most about this watch. It does have a nice display back though, which is kind of strange for a diver, but it looks like they at least put the thought into making it look presentable, and it does look nice. It does look fairly quality for a watch that you can get probably now for $75 or something like that, but the back looks like they did put some thought into making it very presentable. From what I've been able to find about this watch, I believe this is the Seiko NH35A movement with around a 40-hour power reserve. This watch is hackable. It is also manually winding if you want it that way, which is cool because sometimes I'd rather not sit there and just shake the watch in my hand. Give it a few winds and get it going, which on a watch at this price point I think is a nice touch that you're able to manually wind it if you want. The bracelet this watch comes with is really nothing special. It doesn't really have any real taper to it. It looks kind of bulky on the wrist, and the clasp is kind of cheap and sometimes difficult to open, but that's something that you would expect with a watch of this price point. I could easily swap it out if I wanted to. I just never gotten that far with it, but the bracelet I would say is the one real downside to me with this watch, and if I continue wearing it, I will most likely swap that out. The lume on this watch is fairly standard. The hour markers are kind of small, which make them a little difficult to see, but you have the typical Mercedes style hour hand, and the minute hand has a good amount of lume on it. The second hand, you could see the little ball at the end. I believe there was even a luminescent marker on the 12 o'clock bezel position, but it looks like mine either fell off or never came with it, but I've never noticed it, and it really isn't a function that I look for or need because I'm not diving with it and I'm really not timing anything in the dark. But the lume overall is decent. It's not great, it's not terrible, but it's what you would expect. On my wrist, which is about 7¼ inches, it looks very nice size-wise, very similar to the sub. The strap, as I said, is a little bulky, but I think it overall wears very nicely. I don't know how it would look on a smaller wrist, but I think this watch, even though the strap makes it look chunky, it does look very nice on the wrist, and I still 100% love how that blue looks on my wrist. I understand the reason people hate watches like Invictas because they think they're ripoffs or stealing designs, which, yeah, sure, they are. But for a lot of people, me included, this watch helped me discover my passion for watches and dive in to getting even better watches. So if you're using this as a gateway to know more about watches, to study watches, to eventually save up and start buying bigger and better watches, I don't see the issue with buying a cheap homage like this and really seeing if you love how the watches feel, how the watches look, and really see if it's something for you. And you might get lucky and you might get a watch like this that 4 years later still runs perfectly, still keeps great time, and I think it looks quite pleasant. So that's my take on the Invicta Pro Diver. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. Comment below. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. Should have some videos coming out fairly soon, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.